मिली है खुशी हमको प्रभु से मिलन की, मिली है खुशी हमको प्रभु से मिलन की। वरदानों की हमने बरसात की है, वरदानों की हमने बरसात की है। ईश्वर से हमने मुलाकात की है, मन भावनी सी मधुर बात की है।
Om Shanti. Very, very good evening. We shall be starting the Murli little early today because I'm having another session at 6 o'clock. So, therefore, please, I really apologize. So, I hope because we are all also those who are not able to join the class, they shall be listening the class on YouTube also because we are having the telecast of this session on YouTube. So this is today's Murli, 7th of September 2020, and Baba is giving us this knowledge, beautiful knowledge, and telling us that I am the one whom you have been remembering from a very long time in the path of devotion, and now I have finally come to bestow upon you the fruit of your devotion. So have we really remembered Baba that much? So that is the reason why Baba has transcended, Baba has incarnated on this earth to give us the fruit of the devotion of all the things that we have been doing on the path of devotion. We were remembering Baba, we were remembering God and asking him to come on earth and bestow us with salvation and mukti and moksha and lot many things we were asking, right? So Baba says today, essence for today's Murli is, sweet children, the Father has come to give you old devotees the fruit of your devotion. So Baba has come to give us the fruit of our devotion. And the fruit of devotion is knowledge through which you attain salvation. So, in order to attain salvation, we have remembered Baba a lot, and this is the fruit of devotion. Salvation is what? The fruit of devotion. So, salvation from what? Salvation from this world, that we will be going to the golden age. Before that, we'll be going to the abode of peace, the supreme abode, Param Dham, and after that, we will be coming back. We'll be coming to golden age. So Baba says that is the fruit of your devotion. Then the question of today's Murli is, how do some children shoot their own fortune down whilst moving along? So Baba says, how do some children shoot their own fortune down whilst moving along? So there are a lot many things that happen on the path of spirituality when we move along in this path of knowledge that Baba has given. There is a lot many children who really shoot their fortune, kind of miss everything, and they lose their fortune in this path. And there has been a lot of mistakes that are committed by children, and it is the biggest unfortunate thing in the world that we really divorce Baba sometimes, some of the times, and leave Baba, leave the knowledge and go away. So Baba says why these things are happening. So the answer is, if after belonging to the Father you do not do service, if you don't have mercy for yourself or others, you shoot your own fortune down. That is, you destroy your own status. So if you study well and stay in yoga, you receive a good status. Serviceable children should have a lot of interest in doing service. So Baba asks us that you should do a lot of service. Service can be done in many ways. You can do service through mind. You can bestow a purity, peace, and love to all the people of the world, and that is also a way of doing service. Then there are other methods of also of doing service, that you can do karmana seva, the seva through your body, whatever you do, whatever actions you perform, the good actions that lead to a high fortune of the golden age. So Baba says you can do lot many seva, lot many service. So that's how Baba says that is the way of really earning a good fortune in this path of knowledge. Then the song in today's Murli is, who has come here early in the morning? Who has come today early in the morning, and who comes regularly daily, early in the morning to wake all the children? So it is Shiv Baba who has come that early. Om Shanti. You spiritual children understand that you are souls and not bodies. So it is only at this time that you receive this knowledge from the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The Father says, since I have come, have the faith that you are souls. The Baba says it is a soul that enters a body. Souls continue to shed their bodies and take others. Souls don't change, bodies do. Souls are imperishable. Therefore, consider yourselves to be souls. So Baba says, so we should always think ourselves as souls only. So souls, they continue to shed their bodies and take others. The souls don't change, bodies do. Souls are imperishable. So we all are imperishable, immortal souls. Therefore, consider yourselves to be souls. No one else can ever give you this knowledge. Having heard the call of the children, the Father has now come. Such a beautiful thing that Baba has come here. Why? Because he heard our call. We called him and he heard that, he listened to that, and then Baba, he incarnated. So God has finally listened to our call, right? So no one even knows that this is the most elevated confluence age. The Father comes and explains, I have to come at the most elevated confluence age when the whole world is to become most elevated. So at this time, the whole world is most degraded and impure. We are seeing that from our own eyes. We are seeing how the world is descending in its qualities, values, and each and everything. We are just seeing all the pomp and show of Maya. We are seeing a lot of scientific inventions, but not leading us to a prosperous and happy life, right? So there is no guarantee now. So we are at the verge of kind of a very catastrophic event to be happening very soon. So Baba says the whole world is degrading, the whole world is becoming impure day by day. So Baba says that world is called the land of immortality. Which world is called the land of immortality? The land of deities, the land where all the devtas were residing. And this world is called the land of death. Why this is called land of death, and why that world is called land of immortality? So those deities also, they also shed their bodies. It's not that they will be carrying on with their bodies for whole of the 2500 years, but they also experience the shedding of the bodies and taking another one. And the same is happening here also in the Mrityu Lok, in the land of death, in the time, in this present time. Then what is the difference? The difference is, here we say we are fear of the death. We are not having the consciousness of leaving the body and taking another one. So here we call it as death. But there it is very much in their consciousness, in the consciousness of the deities, that we are immortal, imperishable souls, and we are shedding the bodies and taking another bodies. So that with that consciousness, they become immortal souls, and with the consciousness of the body here in this world, we become body conscious, and that is the reason why we call this as Mrityu Lok, that one day I'm going to die. So Baba says that world is called the land of immortality. So in the land of death, there are human beings with devilish traits, whereas in the land of immortality, there are human beings with divine virtues. So which is why they are called deities. So here too, those who have good natures are said to be like deities. In today's world also, if someone is having very good virtues, good manners, and a lot of etiquettes and very right appropriate behavior, and the actions, the karma is also good of a person, we consider them as a deity, a born deity. But Baba says some have divine virtues. So at this time, all human beings have devilish traits. So they are trapped in the five vices. But majority of the people are trapped in the five vices, trapped through Maya, and they are all having devilish traits. So Baba says that is why they sing, come and liberate us from this sorrow. So it wasn't just one Sita who was liberated. So Baba has explained that devotees are called Sita and that God is called Rama. He comes to give the devotees the fruit of their devotion. So we all have been receiving the fruit of the devotion, right? So it is not just a matter of one Sita who was trapped in Ravan's Ashok Vatika. So Baba says it is the matter of each and every soul, because we all are trapped in this Ravan's kingdom right now, which is called Lanka. So the whole world has become Ravan's Lanka, and we all are trapped here. So the real Ram, who is the real Ram? The real Ram is God Shiva, who has to incarnate, who has to bring about this, the army of God who can liberate us from this trap of Ravana. Then Baba says he comes and liberates them and takes them to the kingdom of kingdom of Rama. So it is not a question of King Rama of the silver aged warrior clan. Baba says it is we are not here talking about King Rama here. We are talking about God Shiva here. That king of the silver age is now Tamo Pradhan and in the stage of total decay. So he has come down the ladder and reached the bottom. So Baba says that it doesn't exist anymore. That Rama has gone through lot of births and now the soul has degraded in his values. And that soul is also gaining the knowledge again and trying to achieve that status what he was having before in the Treta Yuga. So that soul is also under the process of achieving those virtues. So that King Rama doesn't exist anymore. Then Baba says, from being worthy of worship, he has become a worshipper now. So deities do not worship anyone. They themselves are worthy of worship. Then when they become merchants and Shudras, worshipping begins. Now, when do we become merchants and when do we become Shudras? So when we are in Dwapar Yuga, the copper age, we become merchants. And when we reach Kali Yuga, that is the iron age, we become Shudras. So Baba says, when they go into the path of sin, they become worshippers. Worshippers bow down in front of the images of the deities. At this time, not a single person is worthy of worship. God, the highest on high, is worthy of worship, and the golden aged deities are worthy of worship. So at this time, all are worshippers. So we all have become worshippers, and we all are worshipping gods and goddesses. Why? Because there is no purity inside the soul. So first of all, there is the worship of Shiva. So that is unadulterated worship. So that unadulterated worship, we always started it from God Shiva, and it was started by Raja Vikramaditya in the beginning of the Dwapar Yuga, in the beginning of the Copper Age, and he built a beautiful temple of God Shiva that is called Somnath. Then Baba says there is first Sato Pradhan worship, and then it becomes Sato. Then they move away from the deities and begin to worship water, human beings, birds, etc. Day by day, there is worship of many things. So there are a lot of questions that come into our mind, like questions like if God has taken so many avatars, so many incarnations have happened of God, then why are we just remembering him in the form of Vishnu? Or why are we just remembering him in the form of Krishna and Rama? Why aren't we remembering God in different avatars? Why aren't we having big temples of God's avatars? Why are we not worshipping the fish? Why are we not worshipping the tortoise or the turtle? Why aren't we worshipping God as the pig, the Varaha avatar? We are not worshipping pigs. We are not worshipping the fishes. We are not worshipping the turtles or the tortoise. We are not worshipping them. Why aren't we doing that? So there are no temples of fishes, there are no temples of tortoise or the pigs, because God hasn't incarnated in that form. Otherwise, we in the Hindu culture, in the Hindu community, we are having the tendencies of worshipping lot of animals, right? So we worship the snake, we worship the cow, we worship the monkey. We do not have temples of monkey, but we are worshipping Hanuman. We are not worshipping elephant, but we are having the temples of Ganesha. So these animals should have taken forms, and would have built a lot of big temples of them. So Baba says, you have really degraded my value, and you have been worshipping me in lot of many forms. Like you are worshipping water, you are worshipping human beings, you are worshipping birds, etc. So day by day there is worship of many things. So nowadays there are many religious conferences, sometimes of the Adi Sanatan religion, original, eternal, ancient religion, sometimes of the Jains, sometimes of the Arya Samajis. They invite many people because everyone considers his own religion to be elevated. Because there is one or another special virtue in each religion, they consider themselves to be elevated. So there are many varieties of Jains too. There must be at least 5 to 7 varieties. So some of them even remain naked. So Baba says they don't understand the meaning of being naked. So you must have seen in Jains, we are having Digambars and Tirthankars. So the Digambars, they remain naked. So Baba, when he gave us the knowledge that you have to become bodiless, because you came bodiless. You, when you came from Paramdham and entered here and took birth, then when you came from Paramdham, you came naked because you were not having any costume with you. You were not having any clothes. This costume, this body is what? The cloth, the costume, or the clothing for the soul, right? So when we came naked, we all will have to go naked. How will be going naked? The soul will be shedding off the body and will be going back to Paramdham without the body, without this cloth. So Baba says that concept should have been understood, but we have misunderstood everything and thought that without the clothes we have to roam around. We should not wear clothes on the body. So that was not Baba's knowledge. That was not Baba's meaning of saying that become bodiless. So Baba says the being bodiless means removing this consciousness of the body that we are having. What kind of body I am? I'm a male or a female? I'm a beautiful, I'm a powerful, or what status? So because of the body consciousness, there are a lot of things that come automatically. So Baba says the meaning of was misunderstood. So God speaks to be naked means you became bodiless. You came bodiless and then you have to return bodiless. So then they then remove their clothes and they stay naked. They do not understand the meaning of God's versions. The Father says, you souls came here and adopted bodies to play your parts. The tree continues to grow. Many new varieties of religion continue to emerge. That is why this is called a variety play. This is a tree of the variety of religions. Look at the religion of Islam. It has so many branches. Muhammad came later. First of all, there was those of Islam. The population of Muslims is now very large. Those in Africa are so wealthy. They have mines of gold and diamonds there. People attack a country that has a lot of wealth in order to acquire it. The Christians too have become so wealthy. So there is wealth in Bharat too, but that is incognito. They continue to confiscate so much gold, etc. Now, those of the Jain community continue to hold conferences because they all consider themselves to be elevated. All the religions continue to increase. At some time, destruction will definitely take place. So Baba says the world is increasing. There are going to be lot many religions because in the religions also there are lot many partitions happening. So the everything is growing day by day. So Baba says they don't understand anything. Of all the religions, your Brahmin religion that no one knows about is the most elevated religion. So we understand this, that we are true Brahmins, we are real Brahmins, and we as Brahmins are so elevated in all the qualities. So we have to maintain that dignity of being a Brahmin. So there are also many Iron Aged Brahmins. So Iron Aged Brahmins means those who take birth from the mother's womb. So Brahmins, the real Brahmins, they do not take birth from mother's womb. They always take birth through knowledge. So that is the reason why we follow the traditions and the rituals and all those things, all the footsteps we always follow the footsteps of Brahma. We always do what Brahma did. So Baba says, however, that creation is born through sin. That the born Brahmins, they are Baba is saying that that creation is born through sin. But all the mouth-born creation of Prajapita Brahma should be brothers and sisters. So if they call themselves the children of Brahma, they must be they must be brothers and sisters. Therefore, they cannot get married. So this proves that those Brahmins are not mouth-born creations of Brahma. They simply give themselves that name. In fact, you Brahmins are said to be even more elevated than the deities because you are the top knot. The Baba says, you are the top knot children of mine. You are those who become so highly elevated in all the virtues and the values. That is why the Brahmins have the tendency of putting a top knot on their head. So they are putting a top knot. Why they are putting a top knot? And they are wearing a janeyu on their body, and they are tying a thread, a red thread on their wrist. So what is the reason for that? So that janeyu, that thread is the symbol of purity, that they have to experience, or brahmacharya, celibacy, for the rest of their life. That is a pledge, a kind of a pratigya that they always have to take. As a Brahmin, they will be leading a pure life, a dignified life, and then they are keeping a choti, a top knot on their head. This is a symbol that their connection is always with the Supreme Father. So there is remembrance of the soul, and then there is remembrance of the Father with whom the connection is always established. So that is the reason why the Brahmins are the top knot. The Brahmins are the highest clan, the highest, the biggest religion which is established by God Shiva. Then Baba says, you Brahmins change human beings into deities. So it is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul who teaches you. He himself is the ocean of knowledge. No one knows that. Some come to the Father and become Brahmins, and they still become Shudras tomorrow. So it takes a great effort to change old sanskars. You have to have the faith that you are a soul and that you have to claim your inheritance from the Father. So it is the spiritual knowledge who have to claim their inheritance from the spiritual father. So it is in your remembrance of the Father that Maya causes obstacles. The Father says, there is a lot of Maya coming in remembrance and creating obstacles for the children. Then Baba says, let your hands do the work and let your heart remember the Father. So Hath Kar De Dil Yar De in Hindi, that is what we call it. So Baba says, let your hands do the work. So let your body do the work, perform the actions, but your heart and your mind should always be in remembrance of the Father. So this is very easy. So it is just like a lower and beloved who are unable to stay without seeing one another. So Baba says, you must have heard about that there is a lover and there is a beloved. So lover is always in love with the beloved. So there is ashik and mashuk. So one is loved by another one. So if there is love between two people, so they always keep remembering each other. So we need to have a lot of love for the Father. So Father is our beloved. So all the children who continue to remember the Father are the lovers. Only the one Father never becomes attracted to anyone because no one is higher than he is. So Baba says, I never get attracted to anyone, but you always are getting attracted to me, and you should therefore be remembering me. So, however, he does praise the children and says, from the start of the path of devotion, all of you have been my lovers. You called out, come and liberate us from sorrow and purify us. So, all of you are my brides, and I am your bridegroom. So, Baba becomes our bridegroom, and we all souls are God's bride. So, God is going to come and take all of us. So, we will be going back to Paramdham because we will be accompanying God, and He will be the best companion in the world. So, all of you are trapped in the devil's jail, and I have come to free you. A great deal of effort effort is required here. The criminal eye deceives you. Effort is needed in order to have civil eyes. The deities have such good characters. You definitely need someone to create such deities. So Baba says the topic for the conference is the need for religion in human life. So there must have been a conference at that time, and Baba would have received an invitation to participate in the conference. And they're telling, Baba is telling the topic for the conference is the need of for religion in human life. But then Baba explains on this topic. Baba says, because of not knowing the drama, they are all confused. No one except you can explain this. Christians and Buddhists, they do not know when Christ or Buddha will come again. You can instantly tell them the accurate accounts. You should explain that there is a need for religion. Tell them which religion existed first and which religions then came after that. So Baba is saying that today people don't know the meaning of religion. So what is the purpose of establishing a religion? What is the purpose of having a religion? And what is the purpose of following a religion? A religion means it should be dharana. A religion means imbibing the qualities of a deity, the qualities that makes us highly elevated human being, a soul which is full in all virtues and qualities and all the values. A religion motivates to live us to lead a life of dignity. A religion always is for your personal progress. It should not demoralize you. It should not lead you towards fighting. It should not differentiate you. It should not create any kind of obstacles for you. It should not create any differences in the community. But the religions are now creating differences in the community, and it has been a war kind of, we are seeing in the world that the whole drama is really the fights happening, lot of wars happening because of the religion. So there is a lot of chaos which are created by religions. So Baba says the real meaning of a religion is to establish peace, is to be in our original religion of the soul, that is being a peaceful soul. So that religion is being forgotten, for a very long time now. So Baba has come to re-establish that religion. So even those of their own religion don't understand this fully. They don't have yoga. You cannot receive strength without having yoga. So there is no power received. So only the Father is called the Almighty Authority. You become almighty to such an extent that you become the masters of the world. No one can snatch your kingdom anyway. Baba says, at that time, there is no other country. There are now so many countries. So how does this world cycle turn? This is a cycle of 5,000 years. You cannot measure the world. Is it possible to measure the world? Is it possible to measure the water? How much water we are having on this earth? Is it possible to measure the amount of land we are having? No, it's not possible. The Baba says you may be able to measure the earth. The ocean cannot be measured. No one can find the end of the sky or the ocean. So there is no end of the sky and no end of the ocean. Therefore, explain why there is such a need for religion. The whole cycle is based on the religions. So this is, Baba says, the tree of the variety of religions. This tree, this picture is like a mirror for the blind. You are now going out on service. Gradually, the number of you is growing. When there are storms, many leaves fall. So this is also a tree of the Brahmins. That Brahmin tree has grown to such a big extent now, and we see the Brahmin tree is still growing, and there are a lot of children who are taking birth even today, and we are seeing it spread all over the world. And Baba says, as you must have seen, if there is a tree, and if the tree is having some weak leaves which are not having strength, so when there are winds coming, when there is a storm coming, then the tree is shaking, and all those weak leaves, all those leaves which are not powerful, so they shed. the tree. They are shedding from the tree, and that's how Baba says all the trees only having those leaves which are strong and still, um, uh, you know. Are intact with the tree. But here also the same thing is happening in this Brahmin big tree that is growing so fast now. So Baba says the storm is going to come and shake you. That storm is going to be of Maya. So one day or the other day, we are having lot of storms of Maya coming to this tree also, and this tree is also being shaken by Maya. So all those children who are weak in their purusharth or are weak from inside, so all those children will go away, and only those children who are having firm faith in Baba, so those children will be remaining here. So there is no question of storms in other religions. While we see the other religions, the population of those religions are increasing day by day, but here it is not like that. Here we are having the question of faith in Baba, but there is no question of faith. So it is just a matter that you are born in a religion, then you are named as a Muslim or a Sikh or a Hindu. So it is not a matter of leaving your religion because you are following it. So if you are born into a religion, that means you are following it. But here it is not like that. Here it is dharana. Here you will have to follow all the principles, and you have to be so a true Brahmin, lead a pure Brahmin life. So here the path is difficult. So Baba says, there you won't experience any storm, but here in this practical living, in this spiritual life, you are experiencing a lot of storms. So Baba says they have to come down from up there. So here the establishment of your religion is so wonderful. God has to come to give the fruit to those devotees who came in the beginning by taking them back home. So you called out, take us souls back to our home. No one knows that the Father gives you your fortune of the kingdom of heaven. The sannyasis don't believe in happiness. They want eternal liberation. They won't even lure for happiness. They don't want it. Why? Because they say that it is so meager in its quality. Happiness even doesn't exist. That's what they say. So Baba says that because they do not have any experience of eternal happiness, they haven't experienced the bliss also. That is why they always long for eternal liberation. So eternal liberation, Baba says, isn't called an inheritance. So eternal liberation forever, it doesn't exist in God's dictionary. Huh? So moksha doesn't exist in God's dictionary, that is for sure. Shiv Baba himself has to play his part. So even God is not having moksha. So God also has to come on the earth to play his part. So all the souls of the world, they are having their particular role. So they can't get away with it. They will have to come on earth and play their part. So how could Baba says if I also have to come and play my part? So how could he keep anyone else in eternal liberation? So you Brahma Kumars and Kumaris know your own religion and the religions of everyone else. You should have mercy for everyone. Explain the secrets of the cycle. Tell them the founder of your religion will come again at his own time. Those who explain to others need to be clever. You can explain that everyone has to become Sato Pradhan and then go through the stages of Sato, Rajo, and Tamo. So it is now the kingdom of Ravan. Yours is the true Gita that the Father speaks to you. The incorporeal Father is called God. Souls call out to incorporeal God, the Father. You souls reside there. You are not called the Supreme Soul. So there is only the one Supreme Soul, the highest on high. Then there are all the souls, the children. The bestower of salvation for all is one. So there is just one who bestows salvation. And then there are the deities. So one is God is one, and then we will be taking birth, the souls will be taking birth as deities in the golden age. So they can't bestow salvation. They are already in liberation in life. So Baba says, out of all of them, Krishna is number one, because that soul and his body are both pure. So you are confluence aged and your lives are invaluable. The lives of Brahmins are invaluable, and not that of deities. So just think about it. Baba is saying your life is invaluable right now. It has got lot of worth and lot of value because you are now meeting with God directly. The father makes you his children and then makes so much effort on you. Deities will not make that effort. Deities won't be meeting God. So deities are not that fortunate. So Baba says they simply send their children to school to have them educated. So deities children, they simply just go to school and they do not lead a life of worry. That's all. So Baba says you children are the one who are having their teacher, God as their teacher, and God as the father and the bestower and the guru. So we are getting everything from the supreme father. Deities are not that fortunate who are receiving so many things. So therefore you should have so much regard for the father. Serviceable children should have a lot of interest in doing service. So there are many few who are clever in doing service and who stay busy doing service. So hands are needed. So Baba says those who are taught to go to war are released from their jobs, etc. They have a list of all those people. So no one can refuse the military and not go onto the battlefield. So they are drilled and told that they can be called at the time of need. So they file a case against against any who refuse. So there has been a kind of a kind of a tradition kind of have in a country or whichever country is there, so that whoever is there, the military can call us if there is a big war happening. So military can call you to participate as a military man, even if you are trained for that or not, but for your country you will have to fight. So that is something you can't refuse the military. Otherwise, the military is going to file a case against you that you are not a true patriot to your country. You are not going onto the battlefield to fight for your country. But here, Baba says there is no pressure. Here we are also on a battlefield. Right now, we all are on a battlefield and we are fighting with Maya. So Baba says, but there is no pressure, there is no compulsion. You are not forced to go onto the battlefield and fight with Maya. It is by choice we do that. So that doesn't apply here. Here, the status of those who don't serve well is destroyed. So Baba says not to do service means to shoot oneself down and destroy one's status. So they shoot down their own fortune. So if we are not doing service, if we are not following Baba's directions, if we are not following Baba's dictates and not leading a pure life and not following any spiritual principles, that means we are living a life where there is full of Maya. So there is no compulsion. So Baba says, if you can't follow my directions, go out and follow the directions of Maya. There is no compulsion, but do not defame me. So Baba says, so this is kind of, you are shooting your own fortune. The Baba is making our fortune and you are yourself is responsible of not following Baba's dictates and then missing all the fortune that Baba is giving. So if you study well and stay in yoga, you can receive a good status. You have to have mercy for yourself. If you have mercy for yourself, you can also have mercy for others. The father continues to give every type of explanation. Look how the play of this world continues. So this is a beautiful play. The kingdom is also being established. No one in the world knows these things. You are now receiving invitations. So what would you be able to explain in 5 or 10 minutes? So Baba says, if they were to give you 1 or 2 hours, you could explain something. So they don't know the drama at all. So Baba says, because people don't know what the drama is, so they do not know the significance or the meaning of the spiritual knowledge. So they call you for just 5 to 10 minutes and speak on that topic. But Baba says they should really give you some time, about 2 hours should be given so that you can speak clearly on a topic. So you should write any good points everywhere. However, children forget to do this. The Father is the creator. He creates you children. He has made you belong to him. He becomes the director and gives you directions. So he gives you Shrimat and then also acts by giving you knowledge. This is his highest and high act. What use are you if don't know the creator, director, and principal actor of the drama? So Baba is the director, he's the creator, he's the principal actor, he's the main actor, he's the one who's guiding everyone. So he's our guide also. There are a lot many roles that Baba is playing right now. So what is the use if Baba says if you do not know the creator, the director, of the principal actor of the drama? Because we have been remembering God. Each and every soul on the world is remembering God. Why we are remembering him? Definitely he has to play a very significant role in this drama. That is why we are calling him, oh God, please come. Okay, Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children says Namaste to the spiritual father. So the essence for today's Murli, the dharana is have a great deal of regard for the teacher who teaches you in this invaluable life. Become very clever in this study and stay busy doing service. So have mercy for yourself. Then the second point is in order to reform yourself, in order to transform yourself, become civilized. You will have to become very civilized. Good manners. You will have to acquire good manners, good etiquettes, reform your character, change your personality, serve to change human beings into deities. Then the blessing, Vardhan in today's Murli is, may you be introspective and put the expansion of thoughts and words into their essence. When you become an introvert, then you do introspection. So self-introspection is very much required. And when you do that, because there is a lot of expansion of thoughts and there's a lot of expansion of words, because we are having the tendency of explaining things a lot, right? So Baba says, don't explain things a lot. Put everything into an essence. Just tell the people what the essence of each and everything is. So even the expansion of the thoughts should not be there. Become essenseful. So reduce your thoughts, minimize your thinking. So that's how Baba says, pack up the expansion of waste thoughts and become stable in the stage of its essence. So that is merge the sound of waste thought through words and make it powerful. That is put it into the essence, and this is introspection. So such introspective children can show wandering souls their correct destination with their power of silence. So if there are other souls also who are wandering around and searching for real peace, if there are other souls who long for the eternal silence or the peaceful stage, our God. So if we will be in a silent stage, if we will be having calmness inside, then only we will be able to show them the path to God. So Bible says, you will be able to show them the correct destination, but with your power of silence. So this power of silence can show many beautiful spiritual and colorful gains. So with the power of silence, you can hear the sounds in the minds of every soul so closely that it is as though they are speaking personally in front of you. So if you will be having a chaotic mind, if you will be having a lot of thoughts in your mind, then you won't be able to listen to the thoughts of others. So if you really want to hear or really want to discern what the other person is thinking, so you have to have a lot of calmness inside. So in that calmness, in that silence of yours, in that introspective stage of yours, you will be able to listen to others' thoughts also. It would be just like as if the other person is speaking to you, but there won't be any voice. There will be just communication. The telepathy will happen, and you will be understanding the thoughts of others. But for that, you have to have a lot of silence inside in your mind. Okay. The slogan for today's Murli is to remain light in your nature. Sanskaras, relationships, and connections means to become an angel. So we all long to become an angel very soon, right? So we have to become angels and serve the world. But how we can become an angel? Baba says, if you will be very light, if you will be halka, if you will be not having any bondages or burden of anything, and the mind is very light in all the undertakings of your nature, of your thoughts, of the relationships and the connections, each and everything, if you will be easily taking, then Baba says, then it would be very easy for you to become an angel very soon. Okay, thank you so much. Because I'm having another session at 6 o'clock. So that is why I'm finishing early today. And we are having our bhattis starting very soon. So the bhattis will be, the bhattis, the meaning of bhattis is that a lot of intense effort is made in the bhatti. So we put ourselves into bhattis. That means we meditate for very long time, so that we can remove all the vices that we have inside and the shortcomings, the still the weaknesses that we have inside, not the vices but the weaknesses. So there are a lot of karmic accounts, the negative karmic accounts which are still remaining to be burned. So we that is why we sit in bhattis, intense meditation bhattis. So the timings we will be changing. Otherwise, we will be seeing that if everything works out, the timing is going to be from 5 to 6 only. But otherwise, we'll be seeing, we'll be changing the time in the evening. Either we'll do it at 4:30 or we'll start little early. Okay, thank you so much. Om Shanti.